Shawn's the man. The carnivore diet is legit. Take this idea seriously, friends. It's incredibly anti-inflammatory. You won't believe how you feel until you actually try this on.
I spent the first 20 years of my life run by the autopiloted thoughts inside my head. I was shy, socially awkward, and discontented, unable to express myself authentically. I later learned how to silence my mind and realize the profound peace of presence. And now, I just want to help others find their freedom to be more at ease with themselves and more effective in this life. So thanks for joining me on this journey.
Welcome back, friends. This is Jason, Actualization. And today, what I want to talk about is a really cool, unique experience that I feel very fortunate, very, very grateful to have just had. So this morning and afternoon, I had the pleasure of meeting Shawn Baker. And for those of you who don't know, he's really credited for having not only coined, but also popularized the carnivore diet. And basically, I went over to his place and we lifted weights and ate some steaks. It's a really good time. Shawn is, quite frankly, an incredible human being. He's someone that has really inspired me, has been, in a lot of ways, a mentor from afar. Someone who I look up to, not only for his masculinity, but for the knowledge that he practices and the fact that he practices what he preaches. He really puts the rubber to the road, and he does so in a really humble fashion. And he's a very down-to-earth, kind human being. And I really enjoyed my time with him today. It was phenomenal. Honestly, the best, bar none, medium rare steaks that I've ever had. It was incredible. So today, what I want to talk about are some of the principles that he preaches. He's known for proliferating the carnivore diet. And I just want to talk a little bit about what that entails, and quite frankly, how that could potentially behoove you. If currently you're not in a state of thriving, if you are struggling with some sort of health issues, if maybe you have an autoimmune disease like I do that you have to contend with, and maybe the current strategy that you're employing is not particularly effective, you've got to ask the question, what other tools do you have at your disposal? And the so-called carnivore diet is one such tool in the proverbial tool belt that, a lot of people, quite frankly, don't know about or never actually employ because they have considerable concerns regarding LDL cholesterol, not least of which, right? Because for decades, we've been erroneously influenced to believe that red meat, and by extension, saturated fat, is inherently insidious. One of the things he was telling me about is that he actually had a coronary artery calcification score performed, which is completely negative. There was no plaque buildup in his arteries. And that's a more direct measurement than something like LDL cholesterol, which is effectively a surrogate marker. And so the carnivore diet itself, the benefits of it are really quite myriad. And it's so simple, right? Like, just eat meat. And what you're doing effectively is the ultimate elimination diet, because you're getting rid of things that can be autoimmune triggering. It's a lot of defense chemicals in plants. And basically, different people have different tolerances for these defense chemicals. And some people tolerate them better than others. And you may not be on the proper side of that. You might be struggling to contend with some of these chemicals. And if that's the case, it could behoove you immensely to just eliminate them and to really simplify your diet. It's really worth realizing too that you get all of the T's crossed and I's dotted that are necessary to spell out a proper human diet. And that you're not really missing anything by abstaining from the consumption of seeds, nuts, legumes, vegetables. You're getting the things that you need to in muscle meat. And this is one of those things that it's so easy for people to engage in armchair philosophy in regards to. And it's easy for people to demonize this kind of a diet without actually, trying it for themselves. And basically what Shawn's doing, and I hope you guys really can appreciate this message that he's proliferating with the carnivore movement, is that he's pointing you to a destination. He's pointing you to the moon. And what a lot of people do is they fixate on the finger and they demonize that. Instead of packing their bags and actually taking the trip for themselves. Try this diet for a few weeks, ideally several months, and just see for yourself the benefits. Because once you see this, once you peek behind the curtain, it's something that you cannot unsee. It's kind of like a magic trick. Like, once you've seen how the act is actually performed, you can never look at that trick the same. So even though we've all been influenced to believe that red meat, saturated fat are inherently dangerous, once you see behind the curtains and see the facade that inherently is, you're never going to be able to take those ideas seriously, because you're going to have charted the territory firsthand directly for yourself. And that's really the message for today's video, is that the carnivore diet is, in my estimation, the most effective, bar none, elimination diet. It's really the creme de la creme of them. And, look no further than folks like Jordan Peterson and his daughter, Michaela Peterson, who have been immensely benefited by this sort of a diet. And, unlike Shawn and some other proponents of this diet who really stay on it, seemingly ad infinitum, which is perfectly fine, by the way, and I'm not trying to dismiss the potential benefits of this. The way that I see carnivore is basically as a door that you walk through, but not a room that you stay in. But, feel free to stay in the room. It's an open invitation, there's a guest room available, and it's something that you can actually absolutely thrive in that environment. So, feel free to make yourself welcome. Feel free to, be at home and stay there, but realize that, for me at least, what I found is that it was a really great door to walk through and had immense benefits. And then eventually what I did is I added carbohydrates back. Basically, the least inherently problematic starches. And for me, what this resulted in is a diet that is meat and potatoes. And quite frankly, I find that this can help a lot of people thrive where, some people don't do as well in ketosis. And, there certainly is some sort of adaptation period that you'll have to go through. But realize too that a good first step, if you are not thriving, is to try this diet out, because you're basically eliminating potentially problematic compounds that are harbored in plants. So really what I'm trying to do is trying to diffuse any potential concerns that you might have around this due to societal conditioning that none of us are completely immune or inoculated from. And that's okay. But what I'm here to tell you guys is that I've been through this, tens of thousands of other people have tried on this hat, and I think it would look really good on you guys, especially, if you're at a point right now where you're not doing so hot. And again, it's really like a door that you walk through and not a room that you stay in. You can feel free to do that, but realize that if you do want a more diverse diet, that's okay. But try hitting the reset button first and then add things back in systematically thereafter. Shawn's the man. The carnivore diet is legit. Take this idea seriously, friends. It's incredibly anti-inflammatory. You won't believe how you feel until you actually try this on. And I think you're gonna love it immensely. Guys, thanks for stopping in, sticking with me until the end, checking out today's video. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, friends, until next time, find your freedom. Peace.